As you know, I've created many videos on the topic of how to install alarms, remote start systems, the whole lot of it. Now, in this video is going to be my greatest accomplishment. I'm going to do a full beginning to end remote start alarm installation. In this video, I'm going to use a 2004 Chevy Monte as my car. My alarm system of choice is an Omega Excalibur. This is an AL1850 EDPB. I will be using the blade by Untitled. I'm going to show you how to flash the blade, program the user settings on that as well. Two sensors, the one that's included with it, which is the AU84TN, which is a dual zone shock sensor. I'm going to be utilizing that one. I'm also going to be utilizing the single zone AU94, not the AU94TN dual zone radar proximity sensor, just a single zone. I'm using this in conjunction with an AU93, which is going to be a two-window, because it's a Monte Carlo two-window car, to automatically roll up the windows. So that way, when the proximity sensor triggers, it's going to automatically lock the doors, roll up the windows, honk the horn, flash the lights, turn on the dome light, and alert on the two-way LCD pager. That's the way it should work. I'm going to do a fully featured system with a two-way LCD remote control. I will omit the feature of using a car link because I just chose not to. I've already done a video on it, so why do something I've already done is my feeling on that. As far as the features on the system, I'm doing keyless entry, trunk release, dome light supervision, horn honk, siren, hood switch, pin switch. What else? I'm going to cover all the settings, utilizing the remotes, programming it, mounting the antenna, doing all the wiring. I mean, from start to finish, soup to nuts, folks. This is the video you need to see if you really want to learn how to do an alarm remote start system. Before I give you the screenshot and show you how I'm going to program all the feature settings and the firmware for this blade, which I've installed, as you can see right here, is a Blade TB. I've chosen to use this because this vehicle is just equipped with pass lock, and since it is an 04, it's non-CAN bus. So I'm going to program all the personal programmable settings on this blade, and I'm also going to put the pass lock firmware on there. So you can see my computer tower. I have right here my Omega Link. It's an OL loader. Just plugged into the 4-pin port on this AL1850. The slot is it's already mounted up in there. Now I'm going to show you on the screen how you can program all the settings without having to do the chirps and the valley button, you know, doing it the old school, slow, sluggish way. We're going to do it the new style way, the digital way. I'm also going to show you how to update the firmware for the 2014, since this module was actually produced in 2012, so it has a pretty serious update on the module, because these systems are now internet updatable as well. So what I've done right now is I've just jumped on a computer. I've logged into omegaweblink.com, which puts you up onto this screen, so that way you can log into your account and start getting to work on it. Now, if you haven't used your loader in a while, or if you're using it effective about now, because I'm saying the firmware basically came out very recently, there's a new WebLink update. They will pretty much force you to do the update, and I would definitely suggest that you do it. I don't even know if they'll even let you go forward without doing it, but be aware that if you haven't been on for a little bit, you're probably going to see that and it might look a little unfamiliar to you, but it's cool. Do what they need you to do. I'm just going to log in real quick. And by the way, my account, my credentials are for me to know only. Please don't ask what they are. If you need some, please create your own account. Just go on here and register for the first time. Okay, so here we are. The system knows that I'm using a remote start system. I'm going to type in what it is. You don't even have to, because it's plugged in through data. It knows what I'm working with. It knows it's an AL series, like an 1850, 1750, 2050, whatever 50 it is. EDPB, like I was talking about before. Now you could do a couple things. Flash your starter. I've already went ahead and done this, but this will actually put the 2014 firmware on there, which you can see is version 1.10. I had the stuff from last year, so that was a very good thing, and it was obviously a very substantial update. I know that because it took forever for it to go ahead and do. Now, this other tab here, Configure My Starter, this is today's digital equivalent of programming all your personal settings for your runtime, how you want the horn, the duration, the cycle, what buttons you want to configure for channel outputs, how you want to start, chirp, volume, all that kind of stuff. You can do all that stuff and flash all those settings right onto the blade and do it and whenever you want, as long as you own one of those OL loader, like I was showing you in the last section. And that will give you the ability to change all these settings right here, right on your desktop, anytime you want. All you have to do is unplug the brain of your alarm systems, slide your blade in there, plug it in, jump on the site, and you can do this all you want. So if there's ever an internet update, you have the power to do so whenever you feel like you want to. I've already adjusted all my settings for, carjacking, alarm functions, my delay settings, this feature which I love, disarm upon trunk release, because I have an 830i7 in my car and I actually cannot turn this feature off. So I wish I had this. So these systems just keep getting better and better. And actually I was a little jealous when I saw this. I was a little upset just because this thing can do some stuff I can't do myself. But such is life. All your settings, just turn them on, click of a button. Very nice. Once you're all done, I guess I have to change something to show you how to update data port. I don't need that, so I'll change that. Right here, there's a button that says Save Now. Configurations have been saved successfully. So now my brain has been updated. All my personal settings are on there. My firmware, I've already done. However, I can do it again. I can do this as much as I want because I got it like that. But here's how you do it. Once you're on this screen, the Flash Your Module tab is up on the top right. There you go. So I'm going to go to Chevrolet 04, doing a Monte, standard key, 6-cylinder. Next. That's the firmware I'm going to be putting on there. TB, which is transponder, PLs for pass lock. There you go. Hit flash. Blah, blah, blah. The LED on the brain is clicking and it just blinks, so I know it's done. Also, you have this super green message which you can't miss. That's done. Once you're done with that, it's very important that you get the downloadable guide. I've already went ahead and downloaded mine. I will show you pretty much what it looks like. In here, it's going to show you what you're working with, which is an OL Blade TV. Pass lock firmware. On the first screen, it's going to show you, or I should say on the first pages, the different vehicles in alphabetical order. So I know I'm a Monte Carlo. I have an 04, so boom, right there, 00, which is 2000 to 2005. Features setting number 6, install type number 6. So all you have to do is go down here, find type 6 for your wiring diagram, which I've already printed out my page. I believe it was on page 9, if I recall. And yeah, it is page 9. Type 6 wiring diagram. Look at that. One wire, orange data. Pin number 2 and a diagnostic plug. What a joke, huh? What a joy. Also, you need to know your programming, which is down here below. So I would print those 2 pages and bring them out to your car. And that's really all you need. And it's also good just to keep it on your desktop. So in the future, if you ever need it, save it on an external hard drive, whatever you got, where you put your stuff. It's good to have. The very next thing that I'm going to suggest that you do before you go into your garage and start prepping your alarm system and starting and getting involved in the wiring and the modules and all that stuff is to go online, locate a wiring sheet or a cheat sheet for your vehicle. So my vehicle today is a 2004 Chevy Monte Carlo. Since I am a dealer, I have this access to this website. This information on this particular site I do not give away for free any longer because the manufacturer frowns on it. However, if you go to my channel and you type in free wire information or free wire info, I believe it's called, there's a couple links in there where you can go out and you can get yourself all the free information to your heart's content. It's there. So this information, why is it good? This is why. Now, my memory is not as good as I thought it used to be. So the last time I worked on a vehicle such as this one, I thought that the locks were positive trigger. I thought the trunk was positive. I thought the windows were a certain way. It turns out that none of those things are factual. Actually, it turns out that this vehicle has separate dome light door trigger wires, which have to be diode isolated, which it tells you here. There's 2 wires at the body control module. Single wire door lock system. So this is something I'm going to have to deal with. I'm going to have to put in a couple of relays and a resistor for my unlock. We got ignition 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to have to change my second accessory output and program it for ignition 3, according to this text sheet. But again, once we get into the vehicle, it could change. These are not, the gospel, like a Bible, but they are a roadmap to tell you approximately what you can expect to see in the vehicle once you get there. So this is the tools and the information that I would recommend you should definitely have in your possession before starting to get into your car. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. I've said it 100 times to everybody who watches my videos. If you are one of those people who watches me and learns my tutorials, the 5 P's is a golden rule for me. It is the golden rule when it comes to wiring, as opposed to the golden rule is to people. This is the way you should work. So neutral safety I don't need to know. Brake light is no big deal. Reverse light, rear defrost, we don't really care about that since we are in Florida. My pass lock 2 is being handled by my blade. So I mean, it's not a big deal. It's pretty straightforward, but it's good to see a refresher. Even for something as simple as my factory alarm, negative pulse on the lock and a pulse on the factory disarm wire, light green, totally different. So this could be good information to have. If you don't know this kind of stuff, then you think it's working, you test it and everything works great, and then your customer calls you the next morning saying, hey, every time I remote start my car, my alarm's going haywire. Why is that? Little tricks and little tidbits of information like this here can save you so much grief down the road. So I've already went ahead, printed this off, and I'm going to be bringing this out to my vehicle. Next I'm going to go onto the bench and I'm going to start preparing all my wiring. So let's get to that.